Good morning. It's wonderful to be here at the new school in Rexdale. When I was here in the early years of the school, the buildings we had were quite different. But the spirit is the same. And we were very fortunate to try and live heart speaks to heart. And so people led by example and by caring. And the staff respected and loved the students and treated them very well. And as a result, our graduates went on to very fulfilling lives as parents, workers, etc. It was a real honor to be here. Really, you gained more than you ever gave. The staff were fantastic, the students were great, their parents were wonderful people, and it was just a wonderful, wonderful experience for me as a principal at Monsignor Johnson. The first year, John Ware and Nick Nolan, those guys, they were old veterans. They'd been around and they had experience at other schools. And it was interesting just to watch them. They were so different. I mean, John Ware was extremely well organized and hardworking guy. On the other hand, Nick was perhaps a bit more personable and had a different style, but they were both excellent people to work under and to learn from. So I was very fortunate to have worked under both of those gentlemen. Well, the activities, certainly I think of the sports, I think of the music, the artwork, which now is so prevalent here when I walk around this new school. Back then, those were important as well. The kids, you know, they prayed together, they had fun together, and although we didn't have the best facilities, we had the spirit, and we had our faith, so we had gifts, and those nobody could take away from us, and I think it's probably made us better. Well, the old school, it's difficult because it really, you know, you sit in a building like I'm in today, and then you remember back then, and it's just it wasn't good as a building, but a building doesn't make the school, and I think that it's the students and the staff, they make the school. The caretakers, the secretaries, everybody, they make the school, not the building. So we rose above that, and we didn't concentrate on that or focus on that. Well, I remember the sports teams were always competitive, and they worked hard, had good coaches. The coaches cared about them, not just as athletes, but as people. And as a result, they enjoyed themselves. They had fun. They did well, surprisingly well for a small school. Our students always played with heart and desire. And sometimes when you're smaller, you work harder. And so there was great times there. Well, certainly when you have, you know, people like John Ware and Nick, you have people like Mary Eileen Donovan around, you're going to have a strong school. And they were very wise. They looked ahead. They planned. They worked hard for the school. So as long as we had people like that around, we were going to be okay. But one event, I don't look at one event as such. I just look at our way of life. And our way of life here was respect, it was courtesy, it was kind of loving our students to learning. And, you know, it was very, very special, unique, and you felt good when you were here, and you felt good after you've left it, because it was a great school, and it's still a great school. We had people like John Ware who really got into what they wanted and set it up, and he would talk to people like Father Moen, get advice from him, and they get advice, and he really worked hard at that. He enjoyed it, and that was a great part of his life, I think, planning and preparing for the new school. So when that was going on, I wasn't overly involved in that. I was more personally involved with the students and the school itself, not the planning ahead. Everybody kind of slid into different jobs that needed to be done, and so it was good. It was good. I mean, everybody contributed. The Salesian fathers were fantastic. You know, they've always been fantastic. I think of Father Bernie Galise from Bosco. He was around. He was very, very supportive. Brother Bernie, you know, we had great people that supported everything he did. So we were most fortunate. He would come to a lot of events. He was involved heavily with the youth group over there at St. Benedict's, where a lot of our students were involved. And he just had a nice positive way about him, where he'd be with us. He'd be with our kids. You'd look at some event that was going on and take a look, and there he was, sitting in the stands, or, you know, kind of keeping an eye on things. He cared. And the Salesians were great. I think very much in a good way, because I think they lived Heart Speaks to Heart, and they had a very interesting group over there as well. There was a big man, a priest, who was quite a character that was over there. No, there's another one. He was there. He looked after things. He was quite involved with. He loved sports, and so any kind of a sports event, you'd see him at. Father Kenville was his name, and he was a real character, but he was very well liked by everybody. Well, it was hard to, you know, kind of move over there to Patras. Students from around here really didn't want to go over and go to school over there. But once they got in there and realized that, you know, we're going to do fine, we'll be okay, they enjoyed it. Fortunately, I had been at Regina Pacis before they came over, so I knew the community pretty well over there, and but they felt at home. We made them feel at home, and you know, if you're at school and you're working hard and you're busy, then you know, good things are going to happen. So they were great.